Hi, my name is Diamond Ham, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about why serial killers kill. So, has anyone ever watched a TV show, a movie, or even the ID channel and seen like a storyline on a serial killer? Did you ever wonder like what influenced that person to be as such? Or maybe you haven't seen an actual storyline on a serial killer, but you've watched it like in a movie. Well, these are people who have strong influences that plays a huge role in their decision to murder multiple people. There could be multiple reasons why a serial killer will feel the need to kill someone else or others, but today I'm going to discuss three major ones, which are publicity/media, the history of the serial killer, and his or her motives or behavioral patterns that would affect why they would want to kill another. But before we get into depth with that, first we'll need to understand what the definition of a serial killer is. Okay, so over the past 30 years, many clinicians, researchers, and law enforcement have used multiple definitions or tried to define what it means to be a serial killer. I don't know if you guys can see here, but in the PowerPoint it states that serial equals more than 3 murders. And according to FBI.gov, a serial killer is defined as a person who commits multiple murders, varying from either between 2 to 10 in a short span of time. When we go into statistics, before we speak about statistics, I'm going to tell you about this man to the left, because I know you guys are probably wondering, well, who is this guy? He is a well-known serial killer from the 1970s. He confessed to kidnapping, raping, and murdering 30 women throughout 7 different states. And they classify him as a serial killer because of the amount of people he murdered in a short span of time. Okay, now back to statistics. Here in the PowerPoint, it states that worldwide, 154 people are classified as serial killers, and statewide, about 87 individuals are classified as a serial killer. Okay, so now we're going to explore the different categories. We have medical, organized, and disorganized. A serial killer could be grouped in any one of these categories. Typically, a person who was a person who will be classified as a medical serial killer will be one who has something psychologically wrong with them, which could also relate to his or her previous history, maybe of like abuse, neglect, etc. A serial killer who's classified as organized would be one who has high intellect and knows how to cover up his tracks. These are people who are normally adequate. They may date other people. They usually keep a hiding place. They usually do not keep a hiding place of where they may have little treasures of their victims, in one of these shows I watched, the serial killer, when he killed his victim, he had her bracelet, and he disposed it, he got rid of it. Which leads into my next bullet point. They kill at one site and dispose at another to cover up their tracks, and they have daytime habits, so they look like normal people, just like I would look or you would look. A serial killer who's classified as disorganized is typically one who has a low IQ ranging from 80 to 95. They're usually high school dropouts. They keep hiding places of stuff from their victims. They have minimal interest in media, so they don't watch the news, they don't watch TV. They live their lives alone. They're not dating any other people, and they are socially inadequate, so they're antisocial. Pretty much stay to themselves until it's time to murder. Moving on. Okay, so there are influences that affect the serial killer. I've stated them before, but first we're going to start with publicity and media. And that affects the serial killer because, for example, many well-known producers come out with TV shows, series, and storylines that demonstrate or give viewers insight on a life they would never be able to live. So, for example, has anyone ever seen the TV show on Netflix, Dexter? Well, if you haven't, it's pretty much a show about a guy who's working in law enforcement. He's a blood splatter analysis, and I guess you could say, like, he thinks it's a hobby, but he's a psycho. Like, he's a serial killer. He on his free time, he kills people who he thinks deserves to die in society. So he might kill a guy who raped someone's child, and he thinks that he deserves to die, but the guy got away with it. So Dexter will murder him, and he would, yeah, you know how that goes. Moving on to history and causes, that could be affected, or that could affect a serial killer psychologically, because one, they could be going through like psychological trauma. It could have been domestic violence or neglect as a child that caused them to act this way now. It could also be deprivation of human interaction, so people are not interacting with them. They don't have any friends. They're not social media or anything, which could cause them to go into overdrive and or hurt other people, kill other people because they're suffering. And last but not least, we have behavioral patterns, and that could affect a serial killer's motives. Like, he or she may have anger towards someone or something that did something to them in the past that would make them kill. They could want or feel like they're expressing their power and thrill, killing someone or killing their victim who's much weaker than them. So, of these things stated, there are many things that could affect the outcome of, or a serial killer killing someone else. To see if you guys were paying attention, I have a little trivia question that asks what type of serial killer would he be classified as. So would he be a medical, a disorganized, or organized serial killer? Well, the answer is Dexter is an organized serial killer. And you have to watch the show to understand or to know exactly where I'm coming from. But thank you guys for watching. And if you have any questions, please feel free. Bye.